From his humble beginnings as the son of a traveling salesman to becoming the richest self-made man in history, Rockefeller's journey is truly inspirational. He overcame major obstacles to build the Standard Oil empire that monopolized the oil industry. Then, in an astounding move, he gave away half his fortune to reshape philanthropy. Rockefeller's humble beginnings. Our story starts in 1839 in the tiny town of Richford, New York. An ambitious young boy named John Davison Rockefeller was born to a working-class family. Even as a child, Rockefeller was diligent and entrepreneurial. He loved earning extra money by selling candy, raising turkeys, and taking on odd jobs. Eventually, the Rockefellers moved to Cleveland, Ohio, in search of new opportunities. As a teenager, Rockefeller attended high school before studying bookkeeping at a commercial college. At just 16 years old, Rockefeller secured his first job as an assistant bookkeeper for a small produce firm. This built his skills in accounting, business operations, and commerce. Soon, Rockefeller was ready to make his first foray into business. At age 19, he partnered to open a grain trading firm, providing farm goods to the booming Ohio economy. Little did Rockefeller know this small venture began an unimaginable business career. The poor farm boy was determined to build a better life for himself and his family, getting his foot in the door of the oil industry. It's 1859, and Rockefeller is 20 years old. An oil drilling boom has erupted in Pennsylvania, capturing the nation's attention. Sensing major opportunities, Rockefeller decided to enter this fledgling oil industry. He partnered with Maurice Clark to build an oil refinery along the Cuyahoga River in Cleveland. Rockefeller sees massive potential for commercial oil products like kerosene as cheaper alternatives to whale oil. Over the next few years, Rockefeller expanded his oil interests rapidly. In 1862, the refinery doubled in size. By 1865, at just 26 years old, Rockefeller bought out his partners to take full control of the largest refinery in Cleveland. His timing in entering oil aligned perfectly with skyrocketing demand. As the Civil War raged on, oil illuminated soldiers at night. Rockefeller was gaining a strong foothold in a high-growth market, the birth of the Standard Oil empire. It's 1870, and at 31 years old, John D. Rockefeller takes a pivotal step. He founded the Standard Oil Company of Ohio. The young Rockefeller was emerging as a visionary business titan. Here's what set Standard Oil apart right from the start: aggressive acquisitions. Standard Oil bought rival oil refiners and distribution companies at breakneck speed. This allowed them to control more and more of each step in the supply chain. Railroad rebates. Secret deals with railroads gave Standard Oil discounted shipping rates to undercut competitors. This drew intense criticism. Vertical integration. Unlike other refiners, Standard Oil engaged in every part of the process, from oil drilling to consumer sales. This maximized efficiency and profits. Technical innovation. Standard Oil perfected distillation methods and invested in steel tank cars, pipelines, and other technology to slash costs. These strategies allowed Standard Oil to dominate the oil industry rapidly. By 1872, Rockefeller had already expanded Standard Oil operations to New York, and it was still just the beginning. Monopolizing the oil industry throughout the 1870s, Standard Oil continued swallowing up competitors astonishingly. Deals were often made through coercion, threats, and backroom negotiations. To manage the sprawling empire, in 1882, Rockefeller created an ingenious corporate structure. He combined all the Standard Oil companies into a centralized trust. This trust consolidated control under a single board of trustees with Rockefeller as president. Standard Oil peaked in dominance, controlling over 90% of America's oil and influencing every aspect of the industry. They owned productive oil fields and wells in Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Texas. Their 10 refineries processed more than 55,000 barrels of crude oil daily. They maintained a network of over 4,000 miles of pipelines and a fleet of tank cars to transport oil nationwide. In addition, the company was deeply involved in research. with a team of leading chemists developing new oil-based products. Retailers across the United States stocked Standard Oil's kerosene, lubricants, paraffin wax, and more. By 1884, these strategies had propelled Rockefeller to his first $1 billion in wealth, making him America's wealthiest self-made individual and the world's inaugural billionaire. In the 1890s, Rockefeller began delegating control of Standard Oil to his associates. By 1897, he had stepped back from actively leading the company to focus on philanthropy. Rockefeller had amassed a nearly unimaginable fortune, estimated at about 1.5% of the US economy. In the latter part of his life, he was determined to give most of it away. The relentless pursuit of efficiency and innovation, a driving force behind Rockefeller's success, was his relentless pursuit of efficiency and innovation. He was fanatically focused on finding better ways to do things. For example, Rockefeller pioneered vertical integration in the oil industry by gaining control of every step in the supply chain, from the oil fields to transportation to refining to final sale. This allowed Standard Oil to maximize profits by minimizing costs at each stage. Rockefeller also pushed hard for innovations that could increase productivity and lower expenses. He invested heavily in research to improve refining processes and funded the development of steel barrels that were safer and cheaper than wooden ones. When touring Standard Oil facilities, Rockefeller constantly asked workers how operations could be streamlined. He recorded their suggestions in his notebook and followed up to ensure implementation. This fixation on enhancing efficiency enabled Standard Oil to undercut and outperform competitors. As one rival complained, "We could never compete with that damned Standard Oil. They seem to be able to get oil out of the ground for less money than anybody else." Relentless ambition, paired with faith and generosity. While ruthless in business, Rockefeller devoted himself to his faith and gave away much of his fortune. He tithed faithfully even as a young man with modest means. Throughout his life, Rockefeller made time for prayer, scripture reading, and service at church several times a week. He saw spiritual development as equally important as career advancement. As his wealth grew, Rockefeller pioneered modern strategic philanthropy. By the time of his death, he had donated over $500 million to various causes, including medical research, education, and the arts. Rockefeller approached charity with the same business acumen he applied to Standard Oil. He carefully researched recipients and established oversight mechanisms to ensure the wise use of funds. Far from hoarding his wealth, Rockefeller adhered to the principle, "I believe it is my duty to make money and still more money and to use the money I make for the good of my fellow man." Undying commitment to continuous learning, even. After achieving massive success, Rockefeller remained a student, always seeking new knowledge. Though he lacked much formal education, Rockefeller read voraciously, consuming over 30,000 books over his lifetime on topics like history, philosophy, economics, and current events. He also took courses at his local YMCA each winter on subjects like typing, astronomy, and art. Rockefeller said, "The person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity." Rockefeller's commitment to continuous learning fueled Standard Oil's constant innovation and his own personal development. At age 53, he learned to play golf, a hobby he enjoyed into his 90s. His endless curiosity won him friends, young and old, who saw him as an earnest student of the human experience. John D. Rockefeller's blueprint for achieving lasting success. John D. Rockefeller not only accomplished unimaginable success himself, but also left behind a roadmap that we can follow to achieve our own dreams. Here are the key elements of Rockefeller's blueprint for creating habits of excellence. Start early and gain real-world experience. Rockefeller secured his first job at 16 and launched his first company at 19. As Rockefeller said, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you have at your command." By gaining business skills early, Rockefeller built a strong foundation for his later achievements. Take on jobs, internships, or volunteering in your teens to build real-world skills. The earlier, the better. Be proactive in seeking out opportunities rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Gain experience wherever you can. Work with tenacity and persistence. Even as a child, Rockefeller showed incredible drive and work ethic. He turned this lifelong habit into his greatest asset. I do not think that there is any other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. Set challenging goals that stretch your abilities and require persistence. When facing obstacles, visualize your end goal and keep pushing through. Seize opportunities in high-potential areas. Rockefeller cleverly saw the vast potential in the emerging oil industry and made a bold move into this promising field, which turned out to be a fortunate decision. It's essential to keep an entrepreneurial outlook, always looking for new trends, innovations, and industries. Don't be afraid to explore uncharted territories with growth potential. Rockefeller had an unwavering dedication to innovation, continuously seeking to enhance all aspects of operations. He understood that this gave Standard Oil a significant competitive edge. Diligently examine processes to find inefficiencies and blockages. Try out new ideas and technologies to make big improvements. Lastly, give back to society. Despite his wealth, Rockefeller made philanthropy a central part of his legacy. He pioneered modern principles of strategic giving. In Rockefeller's words, "The only thing which is of lasting benefit to a man is that which he does for others." From early on, develop the mindset that prosperity should be shared for the common good. John D. Rockefeller embodied the classic American dream. He rose from humble beginnings to unmatched heights through vision, tenacity, innovation, and generosity. Following Rockefeller's blueprint, we too can achieve lasting success and leave our mark on the world. His innovative business strategies and efficiency lowered the prices of essential goods like kerosene. He drove innovations in oil technology that boosted growth in many industries. The jobs, wealth, and philanthropy he created fueled prosperity. And of course, Rockefeller pioneered modern philanthropy by giving away unfathomable fortunes for the social good. In many ways, his life embodies both the potential abuses and the transformative benefits of capitalism.